So it's Mangled Cadaver versus Wistful Cider-Lad, aka Sis. Oh, we see this very aggressive composition from Mangle, actually. I didn't expect to see this from him. He's playing this extremely high damage potential comp, which, is actually very strong about what Cider-Lad has brought. So Cider-Lad has brought the Zedus comp. So that's a comp that was first played by Zedus on the ladder, I think. That's the first time I saw it anyway. So Cider-Lad is playing this extremely tanky composition where he utilizes a lot of stress and a lot of tankiness, a lot of protection as well, in terms of how tenacious, how resilient those characters are. On the other side of the field, we have Mangle's team, which is extremely high damage. We have the Arbalest and the BH combo, which kind of, work very well because of the mark. Then we have the Crusader, who is mainly a stun bot, I believe. And finally the Jester, who capitalizes on whatever the BH cannot punish. This actually works very well for Mangle, because he can actually just eliminate those stress damage dealers one by one. He can also ignore both riposts of the MAA and of the Abomination. So if he plays this correctly, I think he should have an upper hand in terms of the compositions. It's kind of a peculiar move from Cider-Lad to drop that command over there as well. What do you think of this, Misukun? What do you think of the command?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. It's much better to start to belowing, right? It's the best strategic versus the Arbalest, you see? The Arbalest with the flare destroy the debuff of the mana turns, right?
Yeah, so it was a heads-up play really for Cider-Lad. Like, Sis made a very good call. He realized that, Mangle probably going to cleanse the stun because he really wants to get going with the mark from the very start, so he really wanted to cleanse that stun. And this meant, if he were to bellow as well, this bellow would have got cleansed as well on top of this. Like, it would have been a cherry on the top for Mangle. So, Sis decides against that and just drops the command, which is, I think, quite a decent decision, especially that he will need to handle this Jester somehow. And this composition has so much damage that, sooner or later Jester is going to get the finale, probably next turn. Like, it's going to be a setup for the finale already, so it's a very, very good thing that he actually gets this command right now. This is going to be such an easy thing for him now to stun and manage this Jester somehow with A-Bomb and with the Crusader.
Yes, sir.
So as far as prioritizing targets, whom do you think Mangle should be going for right now? What targets should he be going for?
Very interesting. So using this Blackjack, and we have one stun more. So very interesting that strategic. They moved the Houndmaster, but the Houndmaster used the Blackjack and destroyed the strategic of Mango Cadaver. I think Mango Cadaver moved the dog versus use the stun of the Crusader. But this is the result. Now the Crusader is stunned.
Yeah. I mean, the big problem right now for Cider-Lad, I think this might have been a small misplay from him, because just activating the Houndmaster so early means he has very little ways of protecting him right now. And you really have to remember, this mark means that if the Arbalest crits, and she has about 40-something% chance to crit right now with the right items, if she crits this Houndmaster, he's just gonna die.
Yeah.
On the other hand, however, you have to consider the play from Cider-Lad, who is actually pushing this Jester to the final position. Even though Cider-Lad is playing this kind of stress-focused composition, he is actually doing quite a bit of damage. Look at this. Like, this Crusader took a bit. The BH took even more. The BH is at 66% HP right now, and this Jester is at about 40%, maybe 45%. So actually, Cider-Lad, despite playing a stress comp, has done a significant amount of damage already. And we have to wonder whether Mangle isn't playing this too passively, right? Maybe he should be just trying to pressure this a bit more. Especially those bellows will come through right now, and this damage is not gonna get any better for Mangle.
Yes. Yes. The strategic of the stress, a lot of stress from Wistful Cider-Lad, I think, for the moment, works very well, right?
Yeah, it does.
So can you see? Tell me. Sorry.
No. Go ahead, man.
No, if you see, the team of the Mango is very stressed. Not a lot of, but yes, very stressed. And Oh, that critic! I don't think... What happened now?
I mean, it's kind of okay, because Sis kept the healer available, right? If he had not done that, he would have probably lost this Houndmaster, because, you know, of the amount of finishers that are available for Mangle. But because this Crusader remains active, right now this BH cannot finish the Houndmaster at all. So it's kind of a big deal, honestly, because this is just gonna mean that this fight is going to go longer, and the longer the longer all four characters of Sidelad stay alive, the more stress damage they deal. So this Houndmaster absolutely core to Sis's composition. And if if Mangle is unable to eliminate the Houndmaster very, very soon, I feel like I think Mangle is just going to be in trouble, because he has already sustained a lot of damage and stress, and it's not gonna get any better from here, seriously.
Yes, and now the Houndmaster is very, very useless for the moment, because they have stay all the time using the healing and go to the stand all the time. Oh, prefer that. Very interesting. And again in the dead doors. Whoa.
Yeah, and that's
a very bad situation.
And
Tell me, sorry.
Yeah, that's trouble for Sis, because he has to be healing this Houndmaster, which means he's not doing stress. He either ditches the HM right now, he loses him like just indefinitely. And the question is like whether he wants to be healing this or not. You have to remember as well, Jester's Derek Stab can bypass the guard. And Mangle is just going to capture. Is he gonna get this kill? That's the question, like 50-50. Oh, it comes through. And that's the risk. He has to wait.
I completely forgot.
Oh, really sorry for now. But it's very interesting that the first killing blow. A very bad situation for Wishful Featherlad. Really sorry. This is very excited. Very excited.
The biggest issue right now for Sidelad is that he has not really utilized any offensive moves recently, right? He could have just ditched the HM, just dropped another Hound's Harry the previous turn. This would have been okay, I think, right now. However, this is so bad. Because I feel like he could have also bellowed. This bellow didn't go through either, so this could have potentially meant that the Arbalest would have to waste the turn. And try to look at Sidelad. He has not done that much stress. This is 10-3. We have 0 afflictions done. This A-bomb almost dead. This Crusader out of position. This MAA not really bellowing at all. Obviously, on the other side, we have the Jester at Death's Door, but this can be easily alleviated by the bandage right now from the Arbalest, so that looks like a non-issue at all. Obviously, this Jester is not going to be able to act for a while. So, it's a question of like whether he decides to heal this, but he could have probably flared this and just kind of, you know, maybe risked it, because there's only one character that can actually reach the Jester right now from here. So he could have just gone for the cleanse and maybe just started spamming Harvest. Right, so you get especially this, the only character that can reach the Jester is the Abomination. So maybe like since Abomination goes fed in the current because he's dazed, he could have Mangle could have done a bit more damage there. We have the stun removed as well, because you know we have double stuns on those characters. The stuns are removed right away, so this is just another very nice thing for Mangle, because he has really not been harmed at all by Sidelad. So the question is like, what does he do? What does Sis do right now?
Wow, I think this is a very bad situation for Wishful Featherlad. Maybe we can use the defender in the Abomination, right? So for this moment, this is not a good situation for Wishful. I think it's better. It's only my opinions. I think it's better use the defender in this situation than the below. What do you think?
I think it's kind of useless to defend this, because I mean, yeah, it's a 50-50 that you lose the A-bomb then, right? If you defend this, but I think like this is just I don't think Sis has a way out of this. Honestly, it's just a dead A-bomb. This game is just over. I feel.
Oh yeah, this game is very over. The boogeyman coming.
Yeah, I think Sis needed a single 10 more to actually drop stress, like to get people afflicted before he started dropping characters. You just have to consider the fact that, you know, he has so much healing available that even if he were to be afflicted, like he was still going to be able to just handle those heart attacks pretty well with the Crusader and with the Arbalest. So
Yes.
I really don't know. Maybe Sidelar just kind of played this a bit too slow. But then again, this Houndmaster just was so there, like from the very beginning. It's quite unfortunate really that this was just allowed to happen. He could have probably prevented this for a single 10 longer, just by using the Crusader's heal on time within the right, within the right time window. And right now, it's like, I think like this was just something that is, this is the snowball that started the avalanche here, and this avalanche is just crushing at Sidelar right now. He's just being broken, torn apart by that, and this just looks very bad for him right now, to be frank.
Oh, but for the moment, stay in the battle. Wishful don't wanna die soon, so let's go to see. I think the strategic of the stress is not bad, but doesn't work in this situation.
I mean, it does work. I think this matchup is like, obviously it favors Mangle because this kind of single target damage is extremely potent against the stress comps, right? Because you can just eliminate them one by one, and if you're fast enough, you just kill them before they actually get to do anything useful. And I feel like this is just it just really depends on how Sidelar basically contains the damage. So maybe he should have started the Bellow. Maybe he needs to take the Bulwark of Light, because this is a very powerful Crusader spell as well. So Bulwark of Light is another 20% protection that cannot be removed. So it basically works like as if you were to start a fight with a stack of Bellow across the enemy team that cannot be removed. So I feel like if he just goes for that Bulwark, this might be the turning point for the fight. This may be just enough to keep him going, to be able to just, capitalize on that. Although, honestly, I feel like Mangle has a decent compositional advantage in this game. So we might just see a very quick...
Oh, the finale!
It's minus 21 HP for the Crusader, minus 21. He did 21 more, he did 20 more damage than he needed. So, yeah, this first game just, I think, has gone out of the window for Sis. It's just kind of I think Sis should be just thinking of what he's gonna do, what trinket changes he introduces, because if you know what your opponent is gonna play, you can counteract that. You can take the Pit Fighters, you can take some sort of protection items, you can take the guard bonus shield for the MAA as well. So I think this is okay for Sis if he just adjusts and he just kind of considers the fact that or kind of respects the damage coming from Mangle. I think he can still win the second game quite easily because he just knows what's gonna be happening. So it's just very important to just kind of think about this way, right? So Sidelar definitely not out of the tournament yet. He just needs to make some adjustments. He needs to strategize a bit better. He needs to not make those silly mistakes, letting the Houndmaster die. I think he's just gonna be okay. So taking the Bulwark, taking some bonus protection, I think he's just gonna be fine in the second fight. He's going to be in an even playing field. So this first match is kind of a scouting ground, right? For you. It kind of is where you decide what adjustments you make, and even if you lose this, if you make the right choices, if you make the right decisions, if you make those correct switches, you position yourself a bit better, perhaps. This is still going to be okay. And you can actually do quite a few smart things. If you are Sidelar right now, I'd be looking at the ability setup of Mangle Cadaver, because there are some gaps in his armor, right, that you can exploit quite easily. I'm not gonna be giving any specific tips, but if you just look at the Bounty Hunter, for instance, you can just see certain gaps in the armor there. And I think you can just quite easily exploit those gaps if you just kind of think about how you position your characters, and also about how you kind of play this game. You have to kind of imagine what the focus, what characters Mangle is going to focus. Just kind of put some defenses on them, and I think it should be okay most of the time. So by the way, look at this. Even though Sis has been really in a losing position here for the duration of this fight, ever since he lost that Houndmaster, right? He still did so much stress. Look at this. Can you imagine this Houndmaster living for a single 10 longer, maybe two, maybe getting double Hound's Harry off? This would have been just absolutely soul crushing for Mangle, because he would have been just afflicted much sooner. He would have been at 0 HP across the board right now. He would have been there for at least a single 10, maybe two. So if you just if you're just able to keep those characters alive a bit longer, you can just eke out the single 10, maybe 2, that's an entirely different fight. And I think that's just what Sidelar needs to kind of make happen. So in between these fights, I think he's just going to be looking forward to make those adjustments, strategize, just, maybe cool down a little bit, just get ready for the second match, and he's just going to get it. I think like he should be able to win this. He should be able to win this matchup because, like, if you play a damage composition, your trinket setup is usually very tight. However, however, if you play stress, you have so many options, you have so many possibilities, you have so many alternatives that it's just going to. I feel it might just favor Sideline a little bit in terms of flexibility that he has. We just have to watch like what changes he makes to the itemization, like as the second game goes in. I think because this one is just all done and dusted, and yeah, we'll just see what happens there. Because this first one, obviously, very interesting matchup. This single mistake, I think, decided this one, but at the very same time, it's just I feel like this is still very, very much on the cards for Sidelar to get the win here, to get the big W in game 2 and just take us to the third game of the series. So we just have to wait for this, like we just have to see the adjustments. And yeah, keeping my fingers crossed for my boys. Obviously, congratulations to Mangle for getting game number 1. Let's just give those guys some privacy right now to make those adjustments. I'm just going to switch the screen off to something else.
Yeah, so I will switch the screen now.
And just for a second, I made 2 such obvious misplays in that game that completely threw them for me.
Yeah.
What an upsetting performance by me.
Yeah, take your time, man. Take your time. Just reset now and make those changes, make those adjustments, make sure you outplay Mangle, or just at least create a leveled playing field for the second game. Maybe take a smoke or drink some beer or cider, right? And we're just waiting for you guys, so let us know when you're ready.
Yes. So, what do you think? Do you want to change the view, Mangle, or you prefer still in retransmit?
I think it's better if, like, since Mangle has this very stable, good, solid quality of the stream, I'd prefer just to stay with him, because, like, his stream is just impeccable. It's, like, probably the best quality we've had so far. Like, perfect. I think we should just stick with him because this is just, it's just better viewer experience overall. How do you guys feel?
So
about the game number 1?
Thank you. Thank you,
chat. How do you feel about game number 1?
So
tell us.
Very interesting. Interesting. No, excited. Very excited. The first match. Very good combination from Mango Cadaver versus Sis. The configuration of Sis, I think, is very, very good. Them. Very, very stressed, and very damaged with dots. But it's not enough versus the Boogeyman and the best jester of the world. Oh my gosh! Woo! Sorry, I take a lot of coffee. Oh, incredible match. So, what do you think about this?
Oh, I just asked my chat to kind of bet who's gonna win this. Okay, by the way, if you were to just choose a winner right now, who do you think is going to take the series? Do you think it's gonna be Sis or is it gonna be Mangle?
Sorry, could you repeat? Sorry?
Yeah, can you tell me who you think will win this?
With Windows?
No, who will win this? Who will win this, in your opinion?
Oh, my opinion versus the Mangle.
Yeah, who takes the win?
Oh, I think he had a very good strategic, a very good configuration of players, very, very good. So the configuration of the Sis is very good too. But the good situation or the lucky is go to the side of the Mango Cadaver and play very well his opportunities, right? Use perfectly timing in the buffon, perfectly timing in the Houndmaster, the bounty hunter, sorry, and very good use the Arbalest versus the Man-at-Arms. The Man-at-Arms is very dangerous, the Man-at-Arms, but the Arbalest counter very good that hero.
Yeah, I think like mostly the Arbalest play was just impeccable. Oh, we're going into the game. Let's go. Let's just see how the second game of the series goes, guys. Let's get into this. This is game number 2 of the series. Mangle versus Sidelat, aka Sis. Let's go. Let's see how those guys perform. Let's see those changes.
Let's go to see the second match, guys.
And it's gonna be Mangle going first now. And I think this is gonna be the opener where the BH is just going to grab this Houndmaster, just gonna relentlessly pound the HM until he's dead. I feel like this is just the right opening. Oh wait, never mind. I made a mistake here. I just miscalculated. Sidelat going first, and he takes the stun momentum, right? He just goes for a stun here on this Crusader. So this might mean that he has a tempo advantage from the fight, because you just have to use the Arbalest then to cleanse this to reclaim the tempo. Because if you get the stun on Sis's Crusader right now, you deny the second turn from it. It's just going to be not possible to avoid that. We see the Ballad. How do you feel about the Ballad? Granted that Sidelat has very little dodge on his side. How do you feel about the Ballad?
Oh, I think it's very best strategic with the Wishful Theory that start stunning the Crusader. So for this form, the Crusader in this turn can't stun in his Crusader, and maybe they have now the most opportunities to try to make a quickly death blow.
Yeah. So what I think, like, the Ballad was not necessary for Cadaver. I mean, unless he wants to be just dropping those Harvests right now, I think he might just be... that's why he did this, because like Harvest has very low accuracy, right? So I feel like Mangle just wants to be using Harvest right now. However, like, whom do you Harvest right now? The Crusader with 70% bleed resistance, or, this kind of seriously bleed resistant MAA as well. Those are not good targets overall. So... that's what kind of worries me right now. So the question is, like, also, does this Arbalest go for a cleanse right now, or does like Mangle just ignore the Crusader altogether, and does he just go for broke? Does he go for the damage on the Houndmaster just to shift the momentum in his favor? Because I think he just might do this. I feel like he might just go for this stun, or I mean, he might just go for this sniper shot, and this might crit against the kind of very likely to crit. And this will mean that there's going to be just very, very heavy damage coming through, and probably this Houndmaster might just die again. I would like to see the items on the HM. Like, I wasn't able to look over the trinkets right now, so it would be very nice for us to have a look at the trinkets on the HM, like whether he has actually taken any tanky items right now, since it's an obvious priority target right now. He has no defenses at all. I feel this is very greedy from Sis. I don't really like this. He's super lucky actually he didn't take the full damage here. Like, he could have easily gone to 0 HP, and you can just quite easily prevent this, just first of all by taking the Crusader of the Bulwark of Light. I'm very surprised Sis didn't do this. And second of all, like, just taking the protection, the Pit Fighters on this Houndmaster just to get some decent defensive advantage here, and just maybe just last a bit longer. You can buy yourself a lot of time with those combinations, right? So I'm very, very surprised that he actually didn't go for either of those. Now, like, the thing for Mangle is he cannot finale this yet, so this Houndmaster is going to take at least 2 hits before he goes down. So this means that Mangle has to actually commit to this if he wants to take this down. And Sidelat is just going to go for this kind of optimal rotation here, I feel. So he goes for a stun here again. And this Jester is not really going to be able to do much this fight, I feel. So we see like very, very low HP on the Jester. He might just go to 0 HP right now. So that's kind of a good advantage for Sidelat, considering he is playing a stress composition, right? So like, if you play with a numbers advantage as a stress comp, you're already very far ahead. So I'm just kind of wondering if he's going to make those adjustments here or not. So it's gonna be a stun on the Houndmaster. This is very unfortunate, because this means this Lick Wounds is just denied, and I guess like one of those 2 characters is going to be able to get the killing blow on the Houndmaster right now, because Sidelat has to heal this Houndmaster again, and yeah, there's just a lot of trouble. I think I'm very surprised, honestly, that Sis did not go for the Bulwark here, because that's such a potent ability against those high damage comps. Like, you can just deny so much from them. It's just kind of baffling for me. And this defender again, you do not, like, okay, never mind. Like, Mangle doesn't have the tiller, so this is actually safe now, because no tiller means that that this Houndmaster is like, there's no way for Mangle to access this other than caltrops. He can still get the kill with the caltrops though. He can just go for the caltrops, honestly. Yeah, that's just a free kill because he has double execution items, I think. So caltrops might just be a confirmed killing blow again. That's so strange that he didn't. Oh, this does zero damage. That's the protection buff coming into play. I think the protection is just so big. So Sis made a correct call here to just be okay with this. Like, this does zero damage if you have enough protection. So he had enough protection. He probably knew this. So this means that this Houndmaster is kind of out of the woods for a while. However, I'm kind of surprised he didn't heal fast. So you have to also you also have to consider the fact that Sidelat goes fast next turn, so it's okay for him to take those small risks because he's going to be able to just get those heals off right now. So this Houndmaster is going to be okay most likely. He can heal next turn. He's just going to be able to go first next turn, just heal and just be fine. Since there's zero ways for Mangle to penetrate that guard right now. So the question is, like, does he actually go? He can still do something. He can still remove the stun from the Jester. And this will mean, yeah, this is a very, very good heads-up play, because this removes the stun from the Jester. This means that this is a 50-50 killing blow right now. And there is nothing Sis can do about this. So that's why I'm surprised. That's just gonna be probably...
Here we go!
That's fair. Actually, you have to say this is just fair, because this is the Houndmaster that doesn't die. He died before, he doesn't die right now. This is just very much okay. However, Sis has to really deal with this Jester right now somehow. Because, it's... I mean... No death blow. No death blow, but this is a stun nonetheless. It's just very good control, because this means that, like, no finale is going to be on the cards right now. Also, Sidelat has very good positional advantage here, because his MAA is outside of any stun range. And there is very little that can actually be done to this, to break this guard, to interrupt this guard at all. So as long as he keeps the guard long, like on this Houndmaster, since the caltrops went sideways, as long as he keeps this Jester in check as well, I think he should be okay. He just has to keep he just has to kind of respect this this Jester, and this means that he has to just consistently keep this Houndmaster at least 1 HP, so that he doesn't die from the death blows. And if he's just able to do this, I mean, he can just continue playing this matchup just comfortably. So this 2 HP heal, I mean, 2 HP bleed doesn't quite do much. Hound's Harry comes through. You also have to consider how many defensive measures were taken. Look at the stress though. Like, if you are able to consistently use this Houndmaster to deliver stress, this is just going to be a very, very rough fight for Mangle. I think it already is quite a tough fight for him. And even if this Houndmaster dies right now, I feel like this is still okay. Like, if this Houndmaster dies within, in the foreseeable future, I think this is still quite fine. Frankly, this is just still kind of okay. However, Sis is at inherent disadvantage right now. He consciously chose not to heal this Houndmaster. And this Jester, I think we're just going to see, the same thing happening again, where the Jester is cleansed, like the Arbalest just cleanses the Jester, and it's kind of fortunate though, because Sidelat has the A-bomb activatable, right? So I mean, he can just go for the A-bomb. The second the stun is cleansed, he can still activate the A-bomb, just re-stun this. So he is just pretty much okay. I think he's just actually fine. I thought this was trouble. This is actually not trouble at all. So I feel like Sis has very, very good situation right now. He has the upper hand in this fight. And that's just so good for Sis. Because I really want to see Game 3 finally. So he cleanses this, and now this is just about the dodge on the Jester. Like, can the Jester dodge this stun? If he can't, then I feel like Sidelat has enough of an advantage to just win this, to take this. He doesn't dodge this.
Enter.
And that's like a 0 HP Jester as well. What I think Sidelat could have done, however, because, the stun doesn't quite do that much for him, he could have probably transformed and pushed the Jester away, which he did not do on purpose. I think he's just gonna go for this right now. He starts the turn. He might just go for the push on this Jester, just getting him out of this, aggressive positioning. Though he has to stun this first, I think. Yeah, he has to stun this first, because otherwise a Derek stab might still just kind of get in the way. So the stun comes through. this Jester's dodge doesn't quite seem to matter at all for Sis, so Sis is getting all those stuns as he needs. Like, he really needs to move this Jester back, though. He has to also keep this freaking Houndmaster off Death's Door. I don't really see the reason for him to just kind of be dancing on the edge right now. He could just easily heal this Houndmaster for a little bit, like just use the lick wounds or something. Just make sure the HM is safe and sound, and he can just, you know, deliver the damage that he has to deliver anyway. The problem, however, you see that this Obelisk uses the healing ability right now, which means that he gives up the ability to cleanse the stun right now. And this means that Sis is such a huge advantage. The second, like if you're playing Stress, the second your opponent starts healing instead of dealing damage to you, you have to be winning the game. I feel like this is just how it is. Like, he's definitely gonna win this right now. Okay, I'm not gonna say definitely gonna win this, but like the second you force your opponent to heal as a stress comp, you know that something must have gone really wrong in the game. So I feel like that's where we are right now. Like, this game has gone really wrong for Mangle, and he might be in an unsalvageable position right now, because look at the stress mounting up. We have a Jester who is almost afflicted right now. He is afflicted actually. We have 3 characters on the verge of affliction as well. This is so big for Sis right now. If he can just deliver a single Hound Harry more perhaps, it is just going to break this game. However, like, you have to watch the guard right now. He has to regard this Houndmaster right now, or potentially he keeps this, like, he actually keeps tabs on this, he regards, and this means that this Houndmaster is safe and sound again. And again, like, there's like very little access that Mangle has as far as that goes. He also activates the Jester. This means this is very important as well for Sis, because again, there's no Derek Stab on the cards. He can just do whatever the hell he wants with this HM.
Wow.
He goes for the. That's very surprising that he goes for the clear right now. Yeah, the crit just. I don't think it matters that much. He can just take enough damage to go down to 0 easily. I feel like this is just very odd timing for this, because he could. Like, out of all turns, he could have actually resolved broken 3 characters there. Like, he didn't go for this, so it's kind of surprising to see that. Also, I feel like losing the A-bomb right now, not that big of a deal, because the A-bomb is actually past those 2 stress transformations, and this means that Mangle's team is going to take like about 270 stress total from just the Abomination alone. And this Able can just do whatever right now. This Able can just die, can do really whatever it wants. It can just start using absolutions when it goes to 0 HP as well. So it's just such a big playing field, such a big playing field for Sis right now. He has so many options, and I don't think like any choice he makes is going to be a wrong one right now. We have a lot of stress. Look at this. Triple affliction already. I feel like this Crusader is just going to follow in the tracks of his teammates, and they're all just gonna get super afflicted. And this just looks, I feel like this just is a very advantageous position for Sis, because he hasn't lost a single character until up to turn 5. He controlled this fight very well. He was actually able to just, you know, keep Mangle in check. But you have to also keep in mind like why he has been able to do this, and this is because first of all, the Houndmaster didn't die to the Derek Stab, which is very fortunate, and second of all, like, Houndmaster lived on 1 HP before that. So it's just very important to just kind of keep that in mind. Like, Sis got slightly lucky there, though like the previous game you could argue that he got like unlucky with that 50-50 coin flip. So it's just kind of, you know, a very peculiar situation for us. I feel like Sis is going to take this. Like, I'm not really sure yet, because it's kind of a close call still. Like, you have quite low HP on both those characters of Sis, right? The Houndmaster and the A-bomb both very low on health, and this might mean that they will eventually drop, right? So as long as he can just keep stressing here, he's going to be okay. He can obviously, like, this is just a lot of stress. Maybe the bleed as well comes through and does a lot of puts a lot of pressure on Mangle, because he has to be healing this Jester right now. He just has to be consistently healing this Jester. I don't think realistically he's going to be able to get the finale off as well, because how do you do this? How do you get the finale off as the Jester being positioned 4 right now? Do you bowler right? I think he might just bowler. The afflictions come. Yeah, the afflictions just come into play, and that's just very big. Like, you can see this. He's healing. If, as I said already, like I think 5 times this game, if a stress composition is healing if a damage composition is healing against a stress comp, it's just such a bad omen. And that's just the worst omen possible right now for Mangle, because he's just gonna get smashed here in this game, I think. He's just gonna get absolutely shattered. And I feel like there's like very little recourse for Mangle right now. He cannot eke out any sort of a lead, I suppose. Because what do you do? Like, you damage his A-bomb a little bit, he absolutions, and...
Yes.
So I think like you could potentially do this. You can go for Jester, Direct Stab, force the A-bomb to absolution, he's going to be dazed then. And then you go for the BH, and you just... Oh, that just doesn't do anything. He has such a high damage buff, damage debuff right now, so that just doesn't do anything.
Yes. The debuff of the below make a lot of damage in this situation for the Mangle Cadaver. This is a very vast situation for Mangle Cadaver and very beautiful match.
Yeah. So I think like he can just play the safe, he just needs to buy some time. So he can just transform back to the human form, just use the healing, play it slow and steady. There is no reason for him to be taking any risks right now. So this is very strange. I think this is such a bad choice. This is such a bad choice. Oh god. Oh my, why?
Very fast now, that resist!
You just need to buy, like, you have to use this abomination. This abomination is kind of inert. He used both transformations, you just use him as a meat shield. Can you imagine? He could have soaked up like 3 hits. Instead he just goes down right away. He's just out of the fight, and this might be the turning point for Mangle again. I mean, he has a lot of stress on himself, like he might just get like some terrible act outs and just die to those, but right now it just doesn't look too great. Like Sis obviously still, I think he's on the driver's seat, but I just don't understand that move. He could have at least forced Mangle to waste 2 moves on this A-bomb. He wasted a single one only. So I feel like this was just a very bad call overall. Like, this was a risk that he should not have taken, because this just doesn't do anything for, like, if he heals this, like, I mean, if he heals this, it's just basically the same result as the stun, meaning this A-bomb just lives a bit longer. And the stun was a risky move. This is like you just roll dice for the stun. He doesn't have any stun bonuses as well. This is a 50-50 stun. He should not have taken that risk, and he just paid for this in blood, right? He just paid for this in blood. So kind of an unfortunate turn of events here. Obviously, you know, Sidelad's still in the game, still holding very strong. And we have the act outs right now. The Zealous Accusation is actually very good, because this means that there is like 0 control for this Crusader. I feel like this bounty hunter might just die. I don't know, like, I feel like he might just, Sis just kills the Jester. He just kills the Jester right now, I think.
Hound Harry and resist! It's the 3rd time to resist.
Close. That's kind of close. Look at this. The Jester is so close to dying, actually. He's just gonna drop very, very soon right now. We have 2 possible act outs right now. This is so big. What you can do, actually, this is such a big move. It's such a huge opening for Mangle. You can just move the BH. You can just move the BH back. No, never mind. You can't, because the Jester is just gonna die from stress anyway. Oh my god, he has too much. He has the Howler on himself, so he's just gonna die. I think the Jester is just dead. So he could have, if this Jester had like a little bit less stress, if this was just a little bit less stress, he could have just gone for the finale there. Maybe this could actually secures this. Maybe the Jester doesn't die. No, the Jester is dead. Okay, that's so big. That's so big for Sidelight, because he just activates the Houndmaster right now. He gets another kill, maybe 2, and this is just curtains for Mangle right now. Such a tense fight, though. Such a tense fight, despite Sidelight having a lot of time to prepare. I feel like this is still super close nonetheless.
One resist and go to the slow. Oh, another heart attack. Oh.
Yeah, this is over. This is just over, I feel. Like there is no recourse at all whatsoever right now. We have so many, like, no words can describe this. It's just super. He's just so dead. That's that's stellar stress play, by the way, from Sis. You have to admit, like, he played this really well. Maybe with some like small exceptions, like this A-bomb was very greedy to, like, he was very greedy to just lose the A-bomb there. But other than that, I feel like this was just a very solid play.
And the horror.
Yeah, the rest. It's over. So we are going to game 3, guys. We're going to game 3. Who is excited for game 3, guys? Who is excited for that?
Incredible! Yes, very excited.
It's gonna be like, I think that's gonna be the first game 3 I comment
tie.
in the
Wishful
tournament.
Netherlands win this match and force the tie. Oh my god, very, very good play in this situation by the Wishful Theater lad, right? Very good control of the stress and very good control the stance and the gesture all the time are contrarrested, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, if he had lost it, because he could have lost the
might not hit.
Yeah, hey!
He could have lost the Houndmaster there, right? So that's the kind of the problem. He risked losing the HM there. I don't like him taking that risk. He could have...
When I did that, I did think, this is potentially misplayed, but also I just thought, fuck it. For once in my life, I'm not gonna get a 25% death blow. For once in my life.
It was more than that. He has the finish on the Jester. It's more than 25. It's
I thought, yeah.
I think it's like 55 or 60% death blow chance.
Lucky. I was literally talking to Cherry at that point, going,
yeah.
Oh, fuck me. Oh god, this mistake just fucking lost me the game. It just lost me the game. But thankfully it didn't.
Oof. When
you have to respect
when
that a bit more, I think. Okay, I'm not gonna give you any advice at this point, right? Because this would be unfair. So I'm just gonna say, like, this is such a tense matchup right now. Those guys are just going head to head, and this might be decided by RNG in the game 3, right? So whether like Mangle is able to deliver that critical hit on a marked target or not, I feel this is just going to be what decides the game.
I really wouldn't mind a best of 5. We are in the semi-finals, right?
Yeah,
so,
but
guys,
rules are rules, man. Rules are rules. I think this is supposed to be BO3 anyway.
Misu, didn't you say earlier that you were going to do best of 5 and then 7 in the finals?
So Yushin, thank you to follow my man. Welcome to Dungeon.
Yeah, I got to speak in a little bit tiny in Spanish, alright guys?
Okay.
Right. So, chicos, la verdad es que está súper interesante la partida. Súper interesante. Wishful Theaterlad ha forzado el empate.
So
y la
how are you
verdad
guys enjoying
es que no
yourselves
está
here?
nada fácil,
having
pero
fun
nada
there.
fácil para Mangle Cadaver. It's very interesting. Alright guys, the semi-final is the both of 3, right? Just the final is the best of 5, right? So the semi-finals is only the best of 3. So this is the last match of the first semi-final, right guys?
Yeah, cool. Good to know. So I'm just waiting. I'm looking forward to this. I feel like both guys have to make some alterations there. Like, I feel Sis has to maybe play a bit more defensively. I like to see that. It was like we had a very smart guy playing the tournament before who was just using the protection. Like, he was using the MAA's guard preemptively. Maybe this is the way to do this. Maybe if you just preempt that hook, you can actually achieve more. So if Sis goes first, I'd like to actually see some sort of defensive play just coming into fruition here. So I would really like to see this, the guard on turn 1 just before the mark lands, or maybe just when the mark lands, just getting the guard before the damage comes onto the HM, because like 0 HP HM is just such a huge liability, right? Because like, you just want to keep the guy alive, and you want to keep him instead of using the healing, you want to keep him spamming those Hound Harries. So I feel like this is just very important to remember about this. We're going into game number 3, guys. We're going into the final game of the series, and this will decide who goes into the finals to go against the winner of Silentia versus Halo, and who drops and goes home. So let's just go. Let's see this one,
guys. Very good luck and...
Good luck, yeah.
Oh, this is from a hair attack in this moment for me.
Mangle goes first.
Mangle in this situation.
Oh my god. Does he have the Tiller on the Arbalest or not? Because I feel like Tiller would have helped so much for him. It would have done so much for him anyway. I really would like to see the Tiller on there. So here, like, we have some trinket changes here. We have the Tiller, so he can bypass guard on marked targets right now. This is so big. That's just so important. Like, he made this change, he made this adjustment. Tiller means that if you attack a marked target, you actually bypass guard. And that's just so important. This is so important.
Yes. Very important. Very nice, the change of the trinkets from the Arbalest, for example, with the Mango. Very interesting for can shoot in the defense, right?
Yeah. You can also see that he has like double numbing incense right now, which kind of prevents the stress from coming through. So both the Jester and the Houndmaster and the BH actually are running the numbing incense, which means that they are actually going to take way less stress than they would have normally. So this is going to be like way more economy for Mangle. Though admittedly, not that much damage coming through yet, so it's just gonna be up to this Arbalest right now. As I said, he had the opportunity to do this. He should have preemptively guarded the HM, because then the mark would have landed on. Like, I just don't think this is the right strategy. I think he could have easily just guarded the HM before the mark came through, because it's just the obvious target. Like, he cannot actually target anybody else and just spike them out easily. So I feel like if the mark goes down on somebody who is not the Houndmaster, it's just okay for Sis. Right now it's not okay. Right now Sis is in a world of trouble, honestly, because 20 damage.
Wow.
Oh my! Are we just going to see the dead Houndmaster turn 2? Please no. I feel like this is it. Like this just might be game deciding moment right now, because there's like very little that can be done. Like this Houndmaster is dead to rights. He should have been guarded like for a very long time now. So this is just looking super bad for Sis right now. Because this Houndmaster is not gonna be able to get a single Hound carry off this way. Yeah, this doesn't matter. This is 10 HP Houndmaster, just goes down like so quickly. I feel like this is such a huge misplay from Sis. You'd really want to see this Houndmaster being guarded from the get-go. Like this Lick Wounds, this is just a very small measure. This doesn't keep you alive for long. And I feel this is the biggest issue right now for him, right? No matter what he does, he's just going to lose this Houndmaster sooner or later. This Lick Wounds obviously keeps him going a bit longer, so he can just secure this HM for a bit longer than he would have normally. But can you imagine just guarding the HM from turn 1 and just doing his thing from there? Because he could have just been spamming those Harrys instead of licking wounds.
And insane damage.
Yeah, this is the core of Sidelad's composition. Like, let's just be straight here. The core of the comp is this Houndmaster delivering those Hounds Harrys over and over and over again. And that's just not happening right now. He gets a single Harry right now, but it's gonna be like 2 already, and potentially 3 or 4, because there's like there'll be like 0 threat on this HM. It's such a shame he hasn't done that. So yeah, that's just it. Game Human Origins, welcome to the stream, man. Welcome. Nice to have you. Also, Nightfall, nice to see you, man, as well. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves.
But the Crusader can heal him.
Yeah, he can. But that's just, like with those, he can actually keep this Houndmaster alive. But the Jester goes for a direct stab now. We have to remember this. Like the Jester will go for a direct stab, and I think he's just gonna go for that. And this means that this HM is just gonna drop to 0 again, most likely. I mean, it's likely he drops to 0. Yeah. No, he has a single HP left. This is so like you cannot understate how big this is. Because this single digit means that this Houndmaster is just not gonna die anytime soon.
Maybe the time of the Abomination, use the slam in the Jester, maybe. Yeah, he has to do this, obviously, yeah, because otherwise he just gets finale'd. He might just go for a stun here though, instead of going for the push. I feel like he's just gonna play this safe, right? He's just gonna play this safe. He's just gonna secure this first. Also, you have to consider the fact that this Crusader of Mangle is in rank 3 right now, so he's just gonna be able to heal only. I think the heal is the only good option here. And this means this is very big. This is very big for Sis, because he can just wait now. He can wait for this Houndmaster to take a single digit point of damage before he activates him. And because the region is just gonna kick in, he's just gonna keep. He's still gonna be able to just keep spamming those abilities. By the way, the mark is gone. This means there's like no way for this HM to be marked again. This is such a good position for Sis. I feel like you cannot understate how important those moves were for him. And the fact that this HM made it through this extremely pesky situation is just so big. And right now, this HM is just out of the woods. I feel like you have to just focus somebody else, because this HM is just not going anywhere. 20 damage is a lot of damage, right?
Yeah, it is. It is like you have to just you cannot underestimate the damage of the BH in those fights. But you have to look at the numbing incense, like the effect of the numbing incense on both the BH and the Jester. Right, they are both very low on stress despite having taken a lot of damage overall. because of those incenses that they have, and this means they're like very unlikely to be resolve broken anytime soon. That's very, very important for Mangle. Obviously, however, this Jester is on death's door for like I think third time in this fight, and that's just not good. This is just not good for Mangle. Honestly, he's like in a very, very dire spot right now. He hasn't made any progress in this fight. He really needed to kill someone. And I feel like Sis has made those necessary adjustments. Maybe he's just playing a bit too aggressive, but he could have still... Yeah, he's still playing this way better than Mangle is at this point in time, I feel. Because those compositions are evenly matched. So I think like Sis is just outpacing him in every possible aspect of the game. So we might just see Sis in the finals at this rate. We might just see Sis in the finals.
Time from the Crusader. Oh no! Yeah, it's a good idea. Reserve the Crusader for the last of the turn. Yeah,
but what do you do with the Crusader now? What do you do? What is the Crusader supposed to achieve right now?
I don't know. Maybe they reserve the Crusader for make another heal, but I don't know. Oh,
yeah,
I will see again.
I mean, the biggest issue is that this Abomination is going to stun the Jester again. There's like no way out for this. Like the Jester is just gonna be permanently stunned this fight, and this means like half of the arsenal that Mangle has brought to the table is just gone.
Prefer a big heal. Nice.
He keeps the finale potential on the cards, but I feel like this is just out of the window again.
I think the finale maybe is used in the Abomination, but the Abomination go to use now the Slam, right? Of course.
Yeah, it's not dodged. Bye. And this is a Jester flying to position 4. Yeah, that is just so big. And we have Resolve broken. He's Resolve broken as well. Oh god, this is looking so dire. It's such a this is such a dire position for Mangle right now. I feel like he's just gonna be out.
Very good situation for Wistful now.
Yeah, it's extremely good for Sis, yeah. But at the same time, yeah, Mangle just I think like Sis sat down. He just kind of thought about what he was supposed to do. He just did the things right this game. He was kind of balancing on the edge though, but he got it. Like he eventually got the things done, and he's in the prime position right now to win this.
Deny the healing.
Yeah, this is just such an unfortunate turn of events though for him. But like, this is not RNG being better. I feel like Sis just kind of has his number in this one. He just is doing all the right moves, and he's just gonna take this series. I think it looks like it anyway. But by this game, it looks like Sis is just gonna take the series here.
Oh, nice shot. But it's not enough.
No, it's like not even remotely enough at this point. Like, it's just such a bad spot for Mangle. Honestly, I just don't see any way of coming back into this right now, because like this is stun control for Sidelad, this is stress control for Sidelad, this is damage control. Surprisingly, that's the weirdest part of this. Like he has full damage control in this game. Like he's forcing Mangle to be healing out of like. Even though Sis is playing the damage like the stress comp, he's forcing Mangle to be healing, and that's just so detrimental to what how this game kind of paces. And he doesn't have like he's so heavily debuffed. Like this is not debuff, this is just low damage. There's just protection on the Houndmaster right being very high because of the guard. But this is just
and the dead doors.
Yeah,
the dead doors take 20 or no 15 less damage.
Yeah, that's also true. That's true, mate. Yeah, indeed.
Receives that dead doors, that killing blow. Interesting, very interesting. In time, the situation of the Mango Cadaver is very bad, right? But maybe we can have a little bit of luck. I don't know. Let's go to see.
Yeah, I wonder like what sort of luck you would expect, Mangle to have right now. He would need, I think Sis would just have to disconnect out of this game for Mangle to be able to win this at this point. Like, unless something just goes terribly, terribly wrong, I feel like Sis just has this. And look at this, like, dead. Yeah, that's a death blow. No finale for you, mate. It is just way too much control for Sidelad, for Sis to be able, like, and this means that Mangle just cannot get those abilities, those key abilities off at all. And it's just so huge.
all the team are afflicted.
Yeah.
Very, very bad situation.
Yeah, one dead, 3 afflicted. That's just terrible. And this is just looking like curtains. Look at this is just not enough damage. Again, this is just not enough damage for Mangle. He needs to be just smashing this. He's just not smashing it at all. So that's just kind of trouble, I feel. We see Bellow coming through as well. That's another important thing. Like the damage debuff goes down, and there's like I feel like there's like every single turn the odds that Mangle wins this are shrinking. I think we are like in the whereabouts of 5% right now. I think like Wisp will just need to miss every single ability on a given turn to actually for Mangle to be able to win this right now. It's just such a dire situation for Mangle. I think he's just out. I think he has to feel this as well. I think he just knows this. He realizes like, oh shit, I'm out. I'm done. Like
yeah,
he'll just have to go to sleep of just knowing that he got
Defender
outplayed here a bit.
Just only save the Salute Accusation. No, the Salute Accusation can't use in this turn. Very, very bad situation for Mangle, but very good for the Sis, right?
Yeah, Sis got this. Sis definitely got this. This is such a nice match to cast. Like game 1, absolute stomp on the side of Mangle.
Damage.
Game 2, however, like Sis just kind of containing this, and game 3, Sis I feel like is just kind of taking over the game, and this is such a big win for him, right? Because this feels like Sis is just going to be able to take this, and he's just going to go to the finals. It's such a hype moment for him. Because he told me today like he was not feeling too well, and now he's just about to take the series. He's just about to smash Mangle to shreds and just tear him to shreds, just smash him into pieces and just go for the final match of the tournament. Just go to the finals right there, facing Silentia or Halo. Which we'll know today, right? Because this is gonna be we'll learn about that today. We'll learn who is going to be the finalist in the second match of the day. So it's just very exciting for us. I think like both Silentia and Halo are watching these guys play right now. They're just kind of trying to figure out what exactly they can do against them. Especially Sis. Like I feel like Sis has this consistent composition he has been bringing to the table. The Mangle just gives up. He taps out. This is it.
Surrender.
This is over.
Oh my God.
Guys, Sis advances to the finals. We have
the first finalist.
Indeed, that's such a great thing. Congratulations, Sis. Congrats, man. And also well played, Mangle. This is such a tough nut to crack, I think, for you. And this was just an excellent game, like the excellent series, really. So I like the adjustments. I love how you guys played this. Tell me a bit more about this. So, Sis, did you